Welcome to Lazycast. Here I have a podcast that I have been listening to for the past 30 minutes. Now it turns out I have a demo to show you, so I'll have to finish listening to it later. All I have to do is close the browser window, and the next time I try to play the podcast, it will start from where I left off. That's what the lazy in Lazycast refers to. A set of features that frees you from having to actively manage your podcasting experience. We'll get back to the podcast I just closed. But first, let me show you how easy it is for anyone to enjoy the content. Lazycast allows any user, member or not, to browse, to search, and of course to listen to podcasts. If you are not sure what you want to listen to, clicking on Guide will be a good place to start. It has podcasts organized by categories, as well as podcasts that are favorites of the Lazycast community. Since I know what I'm looking for, I'm going to use a search. I'm a big fan of a podcast called This Week in Tech. Lazycast adds podcasts based on RSS feeds, so I see that there are multiple versions of this podcast. The MP3 version sounds good for now. Clicking it, I get all the information related to the podcast, as well as the list of episodes. Listening to a podcast from here is as easy as just hitting play. You can do this with any of the podcasts already added to the site by registered members, whether they are audio or video. You can also download the podcast or play it in a new window. But the cool features of Lazycast are unlocked once you become a member, which of course is 100% free. And since we keep things simple around here, we only need a username, password, and email from you. I'm going to log in as a user I've already created to show you some of these features. As a member, I can add any podcast from across the web. All I need is the website link or the RSS feed link. Let's add one of my other favorite podcasts, Techzilla. Since Techzilla is a video podcast, this gives me a chance to show you how the video looks. Hitting play will play the episode on the same page, letting you continue to check out the podcast details and switch between episodes easily. Of course, you can pop out the episode into a new window if interested. I can also add this podcast to my Podcast page, where I can get a quick view of all the podcasts I'd like to track. Think of the My Podcast page as a one-stop place to listen to all of your favorite podcasts. There are many features that allow you to, for example, sort the page, mark as played, mark as something you liked, etc. Here's the podcast I was listening to before we started this demo. As you can see, clicking play on it lets me continue listening to it from where I left off. It will also warn me if I click away from a page where I was previously listening to a podcast. I can continue listening to that podcast episode from where I left off, as if I had never stopped. We have a lot more features in the pipeline, so we hope you stick around. If you have any comments, concerns, or suggestions, please use the feedback link on the right.